Alright, welcome back to the RC barn. If we are going to continue working on the cauldron now, if you haven't caught the last live that we did, actually just finished that up a little bit ago, we were in the middle of building the tail surfaces. So if you would like to see like the elevators, you know, get built and the rudder, we did that on the live. And during the live, if you want to go back and watch a blooper, I actually screwed up the fin. I've rebuilt it now. So we're back to where it was when I started on it. I'm still having a few little issues here with it, but this thing is just so dang delicate. It ain't funny. And so I sanded all the glue joints off because I was holding this part in. I'm not going to touch it because it's really delicate without the sheeting on it, and I've just pushed a little too hard and I collapsed this whole thing. I was like, what, why? You know, especially during a live. Yeah, you can laugh at me, it's okay. You know, we all screw up from time to time. The magic of doing YouTube videos and not having them live is, you know, I can cover that stuff up and, you know, act like it never happened. So just spend a little bit more time on it. But anyway, so I've started to sand this thing to shape now. It looks pretty. Well, you can see that it's straight. It ain't pretty. It ain't beautiful, but it is the rudder. It is an airfoiled shape. Normally, if with a plane like this, I would go back. I would just stick build this. This is a pain in the butt to make right, especially as everybody's guessed it, the plans suck. So but I have gotten that better. So anyways, the next step is here. I think for a second, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Obviously we're missing the top rounded part that finishes the top off. I always do those last because I'll build that out of block, and I don't want to sand on this thing any more than I have to. So I'm going to sheet one side of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw my blocks in here for roll board hinge pins. Now I think 2 will be plenty good enough for this to hinge pin, and then I'm going to come up with some kind of custom way to add pull pulls to this thing, but make it invincible. I got some ideas. Will they work? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to switch you guys over to time lapse. I know that live is 2.5 hours long. If you guys are interested, we're going to start doing those. I don't know. I'll make an announcement whether I'm going to do it this Sunday or not. But we've been doing it Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and we're having tons of fun, a lot of interactions, and having a ball doing that. Picked up quite a few new subscribers too, so again, welcome. And there's lots of other videos in the playlist there that you can enjoy and learn from, and don't forget the how-to playlist in there. There's lots of little tips and tricks and stuff like that for building these things. So anyways, I'm gonna get it over to time lapse and quit yapping my jaw here, and we'll see if we can't get this rudder finished up. All right, that's pretty good progress. I'm happy with that. Chris at Perky Plains, you were asking about tight bond, and I don't know if I fully explained myself or not, but I CA'd one side down, obviously, and tight bonded the other, if you saw that. The reason why I use tight bond sometimes over CA is because it takes a little longer to dry and it gives you a little bit more working time, especially if dealing with complex curves and that, or if you want a really strong joint. So the longer the glue dries, the stronger the joint is because it's going to absorb into the wood. So that includes tight bond. And if you're on a budget, like what, $5, $6 at Menards for a bottle of tight bond, and you build several planes over that. you know, uh, and you do a little bit every night after work. Sometimes that stuff only takes about 2 or 3 hours to dry, so you set everything up and you go do something else, and that takes you an hour and a half. And then by the time you get done gluing that up, you come back to the original part. You can go back and forth like that. You can make this stuff work. You don't need CA, thin stuff. It's nice. You don't need it. I mean, you do need thin for CA hinges, but besides that, type 1, 2, plenty good enough. You can paint it on, brush it on. If you got gaps, it'll fill them. And you got a few gaps in there, but you need to clamp stuff down just like that, and then you need to leave it alone. So, anyways, I got these. I went over to the belt sander because if you look on the plans, you pretty much take the sheeting. Where is it? I seen it somewhere here. It's not there either. Right there. You take the sheeting down to practically nothing. I seen it somewhere. You don't have to believe me on it. So, anyways, we got the blocking put in, the rudder. Got that all. I added a really, really long piece at the bottom because I might need that for gluing control horn in. And we got that done, and I carved out. This is nothing but scrap. Yeah, I already had that set up for 1 inch, so the leading edge is 1 inch. So I started with the block. I was gonna start carving that to shape, but I think I'm gonna wait until I get these hinged and installed and stuff, because this is gonna go in last anyways. Because if I run the dual linkage like I was talking about earlier, this is gonna have to get a groove cut into it and everything. So that's just me monkeying around making parts, but it looks like it's gonna work pretty good. I mean, obviously a lot of sanding, lots of sanding and carving and making an airplane out of balsa wood. So anyways, I am going to shut this one down here. I will add to it, and if I have time, yeah. Yeah. No, I think this is just going to be a short one. No. We can get started on linkages. So, and hinging, get these tail feathers. I got to add the tri-stock and everything. I'll pick this up where I left off. So, bring you back when I got more to show you. All right, so it is the following day, and this should be nice and dry now. Well. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and slice the excess off here. Probably should use a saw instead of a knife since we're going cross grain here. Yeah, looks nice. A lot of sanding on this, but we'll do that later. I think I'm going to sand the back post here. make this nice and flat, because now we don't want to round this over, because this gets like I talked about earlier, the small triangle stock on both sides. So we just want to make it nice and smooth there. And then the next step that I'm going to do is hinge this thing. You can see there ain't quite enough room at the top for the triangle stock, so we'll have to sand more of a radius than this, which ain't a big deal, but I want to hinge this stuff. So what are we going to use? Well, we're going to go with Robarts, like I said earlier in the video, and I'm going to use the bigger ones here. These are the 309s. I can show you in comparison to standard ones. So these are the 1/8 inch ones, the ones that you would use normally on like a 60ish size model or lower. Maybe going down as small as 20, but usually when you get that small, you go to C8 hinges or pin hinges, the flat Dubro style, because wood thickness becomes an issue. This plane should fly pretty fast, so I want as much strength in these as I possibly can. So that is why I'm going with the 309s. Probably a little, I think these are like 3/16 or something like that. So there'll be a nice hinge for here. And if I didn't lose it already, what did I do with it? I literally just had the damn insert for the bigger hinges in the drill guide here. Oh, I see it. So anyways, Robart's got this drill guide here. And then you change the bushing to accept the bigger ones. So. Put you down here where you can see what I'm talking about. I think these are 3/16. Yeah. Nope. And we'll start with the elevator here. Now with this guy here, you don't really necessarily need to do a center line. It's going to be difficult since this tapers, and frankly I'm just not that good at it. So we're going to go like that. Make sure it's nice and flat. Don't have to be accurate here because we can just want to make sure that we're picking up the block in the back there. And then we'll do the same to the other side, and I'm going to reference these on this side because I know I put the blocks in about the same spot. I can hear it hitting the ribbon side. I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. This is just going to be just enough to do the rudder and elevators. So anyways, we are not, I'll have to fix that. We're not going to put, usually you'd put 3 on here, but since we're going to do a wing joiner or a elevator joiner rod, that will act as a hinge. And remember I put that big block in there for that. So the next thing here, now we can always sand this yet some more. So I'm going to put it right up against there. This is going to set our width. And we're pretty close to where, and I'm just eyeballing it on the top here. Okay. And the only thing you got to keep in mind is when doing it on the end, especially if you have a elevator like this where you got the wingtip, the tip coming out past it, and not a counterbalance. Well, even if you have a counterbalance, is make sure you can get your jig in here. You don't want to put it like, you know, right there, because then you won't be able to slide your jig all the way over. But because I set this thing up right on the end, it's perfect. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Make sure we have the right line here. There we go. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Hey, movement. We will not need that much. And obviously we need to, might not be a bad idea to leave that, I don't know. I'd like to suck that in some more. But remember, we're putting dry stock in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relief cut the elevator and not the stabilizer. That looks pretty good. We're just going to have to, we're going to have to do a lot of sanding. Hope I don't have to sand too much. So while we're at it, we'll get the other side on here. And this one's actually right on the mark. This one's a little off. And here I'm just eyeballing the straight part here. Let's see. My take mark lines up perfect with that one. It's right where I want it to be at. This one was off a little bit. Yeah, I did it by hand for years. But this drill guide has made it a ton easier. I'm actually going to move this. Let's go for broken center this one. If I have to, I'll move this one over. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it. Good. There's that. Rinse and repeat on the rudder. We'll do this side first. I'm going to set this thing. Well, this one I can go over because I haven't added the tip to it yet. Yeah. Then we got our other mark. Here. Okay. And we're going to fold this over. Now I got a lot of sanding to do. I could actually sand that now, but I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room here. We'll 90 our hinges here to the best of our ability. And again, I'm just going to eyeball this. You could measure. Now, depending on what we do on this one down here for linkage, I may add another one if I decide to go exposed. I could still do that. There's plenty of meat there in the bottom to put like a pull cable on it. That would look nice. So there again, we need to relief cut that. That looks, to me, looks pretty good. Probably gonna need more rudder than that, but yeah. And then let's see how our blocking fits. You're gonna have to sand on that guy a little bit. Yeah, quite a bit there. So anyways, I'm gonna leave this one here. So we got that all done. I just gotta make the block for the rudder and then sand it, and then they'll be almost identical to these. Again, more sanding. A very blocky airplane. You know, what's the old saying is, you know, I mean that, you know, if build the airplane and then, or build it and then sand everything off to make it resemble the plane that you want. That's kind of the going rate with this. So, and then we'll knock, I'm not worried about all this down here. We'll figure that out because there's, again, more blocking in here to form all this together. And I do believe that this goes back here somewhere. Because this, you know, rudder, elevator's in front of the rudder. Yeah, see, so that goes like, this actually looks like this is way the hell back here, like this. Something like that. Cool. More of the piece is done. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. It does help the channel out more than you realize. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything, please feel free to ask down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.